Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter, transportation problem. In the previous part we have discussed about the introduction of transportation problem, and we have learned how to find initial basic feasible solution by using northwest corner rule. Now actually there are four methods to find the initial basic feasible solution of a transportation problem, actually balanced transportation problem. In the previous part we have discussed about northwest corner rule. Now in this part we shall discuss about row minima method to find initial basic feasible solution of a balanced transportation problem. And we shall compare the result, that means we shall compare the initial basic feasible solutions obtained by these two methods, and let us find which one gives better result. So let us consider this transportation problem. We have considered the same problem here. This problem has four origins and four destinations. These are the cost values, these are the demands, and these are the capacities. So if we add sum of the capacities and if we add sum of the demands, then the sum is 42. So this is a balanced transportation problem. So for this problem we shall find initial basic feasible solution by using row minima method. Let us start the solution here. Now this problem has four destinations and four origins. So the number of basic variables will be 4 plus 4 minus 1. So there will be 7 basic variables and the remaining 9 variables will be non-basic variables. So as usual we have to find the values of the basic variables, and that will be allocated in the northwest corner for each cell. So we shall allocate the values of the basic variable in this corner for each cell. So let us find the values of the basic variables. Now in row minima method, we find the minimum value from each row where the first allocation is made. To find the initial basic feasible solution by using row minima method, we find the minimum element, that means the minimum cost value from each row where the first allocation is made. So if we consider the first row, then we find that there are four cost values, 4, 6, 5 and 2. So out of these four values, 2 is the minimum. So the first allocation will be made in this cell. Now let us find the corresponding value of the basic variable. So if we want to find the value of this basic variable, that will be allocated here. This will be found by considering the corresponding capacity and demand. So here we find that the capacity is 6 and demand is 7. So the maximum value that can be allocated in this cell is minimum of this capacity and demand, which is 6. So we can allocate 6 here. This is the maximum value that can be allocated in this cell. So if we allocate 6 here, then we find that the revised capacity of this origin O1 is 6 minus 6, which is 0 now, and the revised capacity of the destination D4 is 7 minus 6, which is 1. So if we allocate 6 in this cell, then we find that the capacity of the origin O1 is exhausted now. So no more allocation is possible in the remaining cells of this first row. So we can simply cross off the remaining cells of this first row. So we have crossed off all the remaining cells of the first row. Now we consider the second row. Now in the second row we find that the minimum cost is 1 corresponding to this cell. So the next allocation will be made in this cell. For that we have to check the corresponding capacity and the corresponding demand. Now here we find that capacity is 10 and demand is also 10. So the maximum value that can be allocated in this cell is 10. If we allocate 10 here, then we find that the revised capacity of the origin O2 is 10 minus 10, which is 0, and the revised demand of the destination D3 is 10 minus 10, which is again 0. So the capacity of the origin O2 is exhausted, as well as the demand of the destination D3 is also met. So in this case we can cross off the remaining cells either from this row or from this column, but not the both. But in an alternative way, we can cross off all the remaining cells of this row and of this column by inserting the next basic variable equal to 0 on the next minimum element of this row. So we can cross off all the remaining cells of this row and column if we insert a basic variable that is equal to 0 in the next minimum element of this row. Here we find that the next minimum element is 4, which is corresponding to this cell and also for this cell. So if we want to cross off all the remaining cells of this row and this column, then we have to allocate a new basic variable which is 0 either in this cell or in this cell. We can select any one cell between these two arbitrarily because the costs are same for these two cells. So here we are allocating 0 here. So if we allocate 0 here, then we can cross off all the remaining cells of this row as well as all the remaining cells of this column. So here we have crossed off all the remaining cells of this row and of this column. If we find that the capacity and demands are exhausted simultaneously, then we can cross off all the remaining cells of the row and column simultaneously if we can put the next basic variable that is equal to 0, and that allocation will be made in a cell corresponding to which it has the minimum cost on the same row. Now here we have found that the next minimum cost is 4 either for this cell and or this cell. So we can allocate this 0 value arbitrarily in any of these two cells. Here we have allocated the 0 value here. Now remember that this 0 is allocated only to maintain the number of basic variables. It will not hamper the solution here. The solution will be same if we allocate this 0 value in any other cell, but the number of basic variable will be 7. That's why to maintain the number of basic variables, we have to allocate one extra basic variable here. Next, we consider the next row, and here we find that the minimum cost value from the next row is 1. So the next allocation will be made in this cell. Now to find the value of this basic variable, we have to check the corresponding capacity and demand, out of which 1 is minimum. So we can allocate 1 here. Now if we allocate 1 here, then the demand of this destination is 0 now, and the capacity of this origin is 12 minus 1, that is 11 now. So the demand of the destination D4 is met now. So we can simply cross off all the remaining cells of this column. So here we have crossed off the remaining cell of this column. Now the capacity of the origin O3 is still not exhausted. So we can allocate more values on the cells of this row. So to find the next allocation, we have to check the next minimum cost of this row, and here we find that the next minimum cost is 2. That is corresponding to this cell. So the next allocation will be made in this cell. So to find the value of this basic variable, we have to check the corresponding capacity and demand. So if we check the corresponding capacity and demand, then we find that the minimum of these two is 11. So the maximum value that can be allocated in this cell is 11. So if we allocate 11 here, then we find that the revised capacity of this origin O3 is 0, and the revised demand of this destination D2 is 16 minus 11, which is 5. So the capacity of the origin O3 is exhausted now. So no more allocation is possible on the remaining cells of this row. So we can simply cross off all the remaining cells of this row. Therefore, we can cross off this cell. Since only 2 cells are remaining, the demands are 9 and 5 and the capacity is 14, so we can simply allocate 9 here and 5 here. So these are the possible allocations. So if we allocate 9 and 5 here, then the revised demands of the destinations are 0 and 0, and the revised capacity of this origin is 0 again. So we have made all the possible allocations here. So here we have found that the number of basic variables are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the possible 7 basic variables, and all the remaining variables are non-basic variables. So let us write this solution here. If we write the solution here, then we find that x14 equal to 6, x22 equal to 0. This is, although this is 0, but this is a basic variable. Next, x23 equal to 10, x32 equal to 11, x34 equal to 1, x41 equal to 9, and x42 equal to 5. So these are the values of these 7 basic variables, and all the remaining 9 non-basic variables are 0. Now if we want to find the corresponding minimum cost, then here we find that the value of mean z, that will be found by considering this 6 into 2 plus 0 into 4 plus 10 into 1 plus 11 into 2 plus 1 into 1 plus 9 into 4 plus 5 into 6, that is equal to 111. So in this case, by using row minima method, we have found that the initial basic feasible solution for this transportation problem is this, where the minimum value of z is 111. That means this is the minimum cost. Remember that this may not be the final optimal solution. This is only the initial basic feasible solution. In some later part, we shall learn how to find the final optimal solution of a transportation problem. Now in the previous part, we have obtained that the value of minimum z by using northwest corner rule was 202. So in this case, the initial basic feasible solution is much better than that we had obtained for northwest corner rule. So with this, we complete this part. In the next part, we shall discuss about matrix minima method. So see you in the next part. Until then, thanks for watching.